Hi, Jay here. Thanks for watching my video. So we're back in The Sims 4 and we've got a build video. Now, if you're watching this as I've posted, The Sims have just released their marketplace update for The Sims 4, which I'm not going to talk you through. I've had a look at it. It seems like a blatant cash grab, which to be fair, it's EA. But basically, instead of cash grab with just their own stuff, they're allowing like custom content creators to, you know, sell their stuff on there. But what they have done is they have given away the country kitchen kit for free. Um, so because it's free, well, the best Sims packs are free. So I'm gonna do a bit of a build with it. Now, for a change, I'm using the Dusty Turf lot, which is actually an Oasis Springs, which I don't build here very often, but I do like this world. I think it's quite pretty. Um, so I'm going to try and do kind of, well, what The Sims tells me is mid-century. I don't believe that it's mid-century because to me, like, it's like, when you see like the cheap concrete buildings that look like they're about to fall down. That's what I associate with mid-century, but The Sims 4 has a much nicer vibe, so I'm going to use that. But I am going to try and use all of the items from the free kit, which I have pulled out here. As you can see, I've just used the short ore and I've filtered by country kitchen. These kits are always quite small. Now, so let's get started with our little house. I'm going to leave those out just so I remember to use them all. If you've been following the channel, you might have noticed that there's a new name. I did put a post up in the community tab explaining, but I thought I'd say it in the video just in case you missed that. Um, I noticed the other day that there's another gaming YouTuber who uses the name Jay Havelock, which is what I used to be using. And well, they were around first, and I was worried about there being getting any confusion between the two channels. I mean, I don't think they made Sims related content, but I thought I'd change it anyway just to make sure not that didn't happen. Um, so yeah, that's why the channel's now called J Attempts Games because, well, I'm not gonna lie to you, I wouldn't call myself the best gamer, but I play because it's fun. And I thought I'd share it the content with you so that we can all have a laugh together. But that's why the name's changed. But I have changed it everywhere as well, so it's always the same. That's J Attempts Games is the new name. this is the house up on the gallery. I left the name as Dusty Turf. I've given it, but I've noticed since the last update, there's been a change to how it's displayed. And actually, I do quite like this. For some reason, it hasn't changed to my new profile name. Hopefully, that'll happen once I reload the gallery. But here are the photos. So we can see sort of from the outside, and then this is the floor plan. Unfortunately, there's a tree blocking all of the living room, but we can see it's kind of got its layout here. I've got its now for a two-bedroom house. It is a bit expensive. It's 68,351 simoleons, especially since it's not on a very big lot either. I wasn't really limited in myself. I just sort of went for it. I gave it the description of "Don't be fooled by the name Dusty Turf. This mid-century home has serene views of Oasis Springs and brings both style and comfort to family life." Now, I've used a few packs. I've used Seasons, Dream Home Decorator, Vampires, Paranormal, Tiny Living, Backyard Stuff, Blooming Rooms Kit, and of course the Country Kitchen. Now, this is new though, the show used items. So this is going to be helpful if you don't own a pack, because what it'll help you really figure out is how much. So when you download, for those who don't know, it's if you download something from the gallery and you don't have that particular pack, the game just removes um, the items that you don't own. Now, oh, I've missed 3 items from the kitchen kit. Oh well, I'll have to cry about that later. Um, but this is going to make it much easier to see. Say, for example, if you don't have the vampires pack, I'm assuming, obviously, because I own everything in the pack, it's not going to filter, but I'm assuming it would give you an option for things you don't own, and then you would see that the only item I've used from vampires is this one wallpaper swatch that you could swap out for something base game. And that could be an idea of basically as how much of it, like if you don't have Dream Home Decorator, um, there's not much point in downloading this build unless you just want to furnish the shell, of course. But I've used that pack quite heavily, whereas obviously, as I mentioned, I've used the others quite sparingly. But now let's have a quick little tour. So we come in from the front street. Obviously, we've got our little planting beds. I did leave them a bit grassy planters at the front, just so I kind of frame the house. We've got a couple of little trees at the front as well. We then come in through the front door. We'll try and go through as if we're doing a little house tour. So we'll come through the front door into an open space. So we've got the dining table just here in the front door with a little bookshelf there. I wasn't quite sure what I thought about the idea of putting the table there, but since it's quite a small table, it wasn't too obstructive even. And I say I put the alarms over here and in this little hallway where the bedrooms are. But if we turn this way, we can see we've got a sort of a an indoor reception lounge area where we've got the TV and a big sofa with 2 chairs. And then this is where what I did with the country kitchen. Now I've noticed a lot of the country kitchen stuff looks a bit worn, and I think I've put 2 thermostats in when I meant to put a thermostat and a fireplace. Whoopsie! Oh well, it's got the fire prevention system. If you download this from the gallery, do just make sure you swap this for a smoke alarm. Sorry. No, see, yeah. So I'd made use of that country kitchen kit. Now I was saying, obviously, I know this looks a bit older than the rest of the stuff in the house, but say, remember my grandma, she had a freestanding kitchen, which um was changed to a finished kitchen, but some of the cabinetry pieces she had moved into the garage and they stored like tools and were used as a workbench, but it looked very much like this, and she had it in a house that was actually, I think, built in the 60s. So it's not too far out from mid-century, but it's just not what The Sims would consider mid-century. Now, if we stay with the sort of shared areas, we'll come out through the sliding door onto the patio. As we can see, we've got a lovely view of the pool and surrounding area, um, with all of the succulent plants around it. And then so the plants are sort of marking the border of the lot for you, and then that's like the shared space. So it is very open to the public, ooh, but it looks nice. That's all that the Sims don't care about privacy. And then obviously we've got our little bar here with a bar back for extra bottles and some plants. Then we've got an outdoor reception area with a dining table next to the outdoor grill. Now there is a smoke alarm outside because the grills will catch fire. So I remembered to put that there, just not in the kitchen. So I just tucked the bin and the fire prevention system around the side, and this is almost like the secondary exit. So the burglar alarm will protect everything in the house, but all of this is open to being stolen by the burglar, so you'll have to keep an eye out if you play here. So we'll go back inside, we'll go through these doors into the master bedroom. And we can see I've made it so you've got, again, from the bed, if we have a look in the free cam mode, you've got a lovely view of the pool, edge of the pool and the outside from the master bedroom. If we come round, you can see they've got a little dressing area with a chair to put their socks on at this end. I don't often use these room dividers, but this was such a big room, I thought it was helpful. And the ones with I like that they have potted plants. Obviously, they would have to be fake plants because in real life I couldn't keep them alive. And then I put the bed over here with just the one lamp and a little ornament, some more flowers on the wall, picture, and I used the feature wall there from that Dream Home Decorator pack. A huge canvas in a frame. And obviously they've got a little mirror in their dressing area and another chair. If you've been corrupted by the internet, you've got a dirty mind. Okay, now we come into the bathroom. Now a bathroom is of course a bathroom, so I've done white tiles. The shower tub combo, because that's helpful if you're playing with dogs or toddlers. And then we've got a little accent shelf, and we've got the sink cabinetry there. And then we come into what is, front bedroom or the child's room. I managed to use that. I was determined to use that shelf from the country kitchen kit. So I managed to put it in here, and I put it as clutter. My thinking is the person who sleeps on the top bunk kind of uses this like a bedside table, whereas the bottom bunk, they use the dresser that they share. And then made this room yellow because I love yellow. Got the play tent, the doll's house, some curtains and a rug. Kept it quite simple, just so you can more see the idea of what the bedroom's supposed to be. And that is the tour. I think it's nice to do a tour at the end especially at the end of a speed build, because it's hard to actually keep a track of things because it would be up at 5 times at speed, whereas the tour is in single speed, so you can see what's been done more clearly. But that is obviously this one. Has been a bit of a mixture of me talking with some music put in the background just to fill in the gaps where I was doing things. So let me know what you think of that format um, in the comments down below. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, why not hit that like button or drop me a message down in the comment section below, and consider subscribing. It's completely free and really helps me out. You can also follow me over on Instagram at jattemptgames with underscores in between each of the words. Bye now. Catch you next time.